Welcome to the Goldburst show. In this interview series, we would introduce you to the most promising authors, entrepreneurs, and professionals. Hi, I'm Saurabh, your show host and the publisher of Reverend Crown Publications.
In this 25th episode, we are introducing you to D.G. McCool Jr., the author of ZID Leaders, Truth Dreamers.
Yeah, my name is D.G. McCool Jr., and I'm an author. I've been writing for about 30 years, but I've just recently published my first book.
The book, ZID Leaders, Truth Dreamers, talks about life after death. What is your opinion about the repeating cycle of lifetimes?
Sure. In this book, which is book one of a series, life and death, as people in the West think of it, is maybe different than what people believe. And based on this series of books, it's challenging that maybe what people believe in modern times as being the process of living and dying and based on your religious beliefs, where what happens after your death may be totally different than what people really think. And so based on this series of books, there's ancient Sumerian tablets, which basically tell a different reality to what happens after you die, and the ability to reincarnate and come back multiple times.
How was your journey to becoming a published author? What struggles did you undergo?
I didn't really attempt to try to get published recently until this book here. And when you look out on the market, there is a lot of companies that will offer to help you, or you can try to go down the self-publishing route. Myself, after looking at all the possibilities, I reached out to a company that was offering the ability to edit, help with the book cover, and help get it published. That company is called Hancock, and so I went with them, and they were a big help on getting me to the point where I could actually get this book published.
How should a promising author deal with the haters if they plot against emergence of unique concepts which their book could bring?
Yeah, this book, because it is a science fiction fantasy, hopefully the readers will understand that. But there are parts of this particular book that could make people dislike it, because it does call out that maybe some ways people think with their religious views is not necessarily the way the creators planned it, and so some people might get offended by that. But it's a science fiction fantasy book, so hopefully they'll take that in consideration.
Do you believe that many promising authors are shadowed in this book industry? Do you feel the book industry is mostly dominated by the big influential people?
Yeah, the book industry, I would think in a whole, is basically controlled by the large publishing companies, the established authors, the newer, younger authors that want to get into the industry. It's a lot harder to do it if you go the traditional way. If you go the way that a lot of people are doing now, where you're seeking out some of these more independent publishing houses that can help you get your material created, or you can self-publish. That makes it a little easier. But to your question, yeah, I think the system as it's set up is really designed to help the established authors go through the larger publishing houses.
What message would you like to give to your potential readers of ZID Leaders, Truth Dreamers?
Sure. In this book, what I ask is that the readers read it face value, dive into this world that's created, accept the realities of this book, and that they basically understand that life can have many layers, and the characters in this book, there's 3 key characters, and each of them have a different perspective on what these Sumerian clay tablets mean. And based on each of their realities, it takes them to a point where they're all trying to determine who is correct and who's not correct. So I hope the readers will go through this adventure with me.
Self-published books are now on rise. What book promotional strategies do you believe would be the most effective for every aspiring author in this digital age?
Yeah, some of this goes back to what I said a minute ago, and that's, if you're a brand new author or writer who wants to become an author, work on your manuscript to get it written as well as you can. seek out help through social media to try to better your craft. Use the multiple sites out there that are set up to help beginning writers, and use the resources around you that's free. And then if you really need to, then you can always go to a publishing place. And then even if you do that, look at the pricing, because it varies from very inexpensive to help you get your manuscript into a book to very expensive to get your book published.
Any concluding thoughts?
Pretty much what I want to say is, if you like writing, write every day. If you want to get it published, that's great too. Listen to your inner voice, write what you think you want to have placed on the paper for people to read, and don't let others around you tell you that that's not a good idea, or that that's not something that should be published. Use your internal voice to understand what you'd like to have done, and go out and do it.
Order your copy of ZID Mashangi Truth Dreamers by DG McCool Jr. If you are new to this channel, subscribe now, like and share this video. Keep on watching the Blaze Goldburst Show.